All right, Nick, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs as we are legally obligated to say the reigning defending back to back Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. And, this time of year, there is a ton of news about who made what roster, who got cut, who got did it. And amidst all of that chaos, the Chiefs have made a sneaky good under the radar trade. I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I was alluding to, the Chiefs made a really good trade at a really good time of the year as well. I don't think many people noticed it. So let's jump on into the tweet and we can talk more about this on the other side. This, of course, is over on Twitter. It's from Ian Rappaport at Rapsheet on X. Give him a follow. It says sources: the Arizona Cardinals have traded linebacker Cameron Thomas to the Chiefs for a 7th-round pick. Some added edge help. The deal was facilitated by agent Chris C. Abbott of Equity Sports. Now, I think this is a great trade for the Chiefs. I think it gives them help on the edge, and I think they did it at a time of year that a lot of people really weren't paying attention to. I know you've got some interesting insights on this one, but before we get to you, Nick, Chiefs fans, in the comments section below, the season is just a mere few days away. It is about to kick off. We're going to see the Chiefs in action, but before they get there, let us know in the comment section below, what are you thinking the win-loss total is going to look like for the Chiefs? Let us know the record in the comment section below. Is it going to be an undefeated back-to-back-to-back Super Bowl champion year? Or is there a little turbulence? Is there one or two bumps along the way? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. But, Nick, what are your thoughts on this latest trade by the Chiefs?
Look, if there were going to be any bumps along the way for the Kansas City Chiefs, a big reason why would maybe some injuries. And the big injury I think a lot of people are talking about when it comes to edge defenders is, of course, the lasting, lingering effects of the Omenihu injury, which, of course, recently as Chiefs fans, you guys are probably well aware, he has been put on the physically unable to perform the PUP list, which he's going to miss a chunk of the regular season. I believe he'll be eligible to return in November or at least be activated for practice. So he's going to miss a lot of time. So there's definitely a need for depth at that position. And the Chiefs swapped a 7th-round pick to pick up Cameron Thomas. And a lot of people kind of glossed over this move. They're like, hey, who's Cameron Thomas? Doesn't really matter. Seems to just be a nothing move, all this other chaos going on. But when you actually look into the data and look at the raw analytics, the Chiefs essentially gave up a 7th-round pick for a guy who's basically Charles Omenihu light. Let's pull up this PFF report, Miles, if you don't mind, just throw it on the screen there. And at the top, you can see Charles Omenihu's grades from 2023, overall run defense pass rush. And you can see Cameron Thomas, overall run defense pass rush. And I want you guys to focus on the run defense and pass rush categories. Omenihu, about 70. Cameron Thomas, about 65. Very close there. Obviously, edge to Omenihu. But again, Cameron Thomas not too far behind. Run defense, Omenihu with a very slight edge, 58.0. And Cameron Thomas with a run defense grade of about 56, 55.7. So we can see that Cameron Thomas is basically 95% of Charles Omenihu's production. And the Chiefs essentially got that player, a young player, 24 years old, a former 3rd-round pick, by giving up a 7th-round pick. That is an absolute steal by Brett Veach and company. And this is just what the Chiefs are really good at. It's the under the radar moves. It's the 7th-round picks that turn into Isaiah Pacheco's. It's the little trades here, the little signings here that nobody really notices, right? Obviously, when you're great at the top with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and company, everyone looks at that. But really, it's the genius of Brett Veach, along with the quality coaching staff of Spagnuolo and, of course, Andy Reid and his crew, that's really giving the Chiefs a distinct advantage. And this is why the Chiefs are basically in the middle of the next great dynasty in professional sports. I think there's a great chance they go 3 for 3. We'll have to see how it all shakes out, of course. But a lot of people looked at Kansas City and said the one thing that could derail them, like all teams, is injuries. But Brett Veach and company very smartly got ahead of the curve. Omenihu sent to the PUP list. What do? The Chiefs do? They bring in a guy who's 95% Omenihu for a 7th-round pick. This is outstanding roster management. Great job by the general manager. And I think this is just another indication that the Chiefs are going to be very serious contenders to win it all yet again.
Yeah, and again, when you look at Thomas this preseason as well, he had some pretty good performances. This is a guy who got 3 sacks over the last 2 preseason games as well. Really productive on the edge. I know it's just the preseason, but we can only go on what we can go on. We have the grades from last year. We can compare that. The most recent knowledge we have of Thomas, he was pretty good off the edge in the preseason. He was able to get to the quarterback and close on him as well. I think this is a really great move for the Chiefs. And it's like you said, injuries are really the only thing that are going to derail the Chiefs season this year. We know they have all the talent in the world. We know really Patrick Mahomes is pretty much all you need on this team. If you have Andy Reid, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Travis Kelsey, you're going to be all right. But I think this is a really solid addition that people aren't going to give them credit for, like you said. Brett Veach and Co., they've done a really good job adding a guy, not breaking the bank. You're getting pretty much as you would have got out of Minihue. Like you said, 95% there, probably not 100% of what a Minihue's going to give you, but it's pretty dang close. And for a 7th round draft pick, you keep the train rolling. You're not going to be, down too many games this season because you don't have adequate pass rush. I think this is a great addition. It's about as good as it could get for the Chiefs. And I think we're going to see Cameron Thomas, and it's going to be another one of those additions by the Chiefs where someone's like, wow, where was this guy? How did he get here? This is a guy that really just, plays some solid football. And I think he's going to do a lot of decent things for the Chiefs this season.
And for anyone who's hung up on the PFF grades and like those feel a little low, I think it's important to understand how PFF can grade some of these guys. Let's look at George Karlaftis, obviously quality defensive end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a good all-around player. His grades are essentially identical to Cameron Thomas. Again, going back to Cameron Thomas, 56 run defense. Karlaftis, 58. Karlaftis pass rush, 66. Cameron Thomas, 65. So again, if you're looking at the PFF grades, Cameron Thomas is essentially Karlaftis. Now, look, I'm not saying he's as good, right? I think there's other factors and other analysis that needs to go in there. But the reality is Cameron Thomas is worth a lot more than a 7th round pick. I think this is a great steal here by the Kansas City Chiefs.